Hello, welcome to another episode of our podcast, Life as You See It, podcast with A&A. This is the concluding part of Ope's interview. We interview Ope, who is a successful data engineer in one of the biggest tech companies in America. Also has a business, is a business owner, is a dad, is an accomplished, entrepreneur and everything you want to talk about. So yeah, this is the conclusion of his story. I'm sure you'll learn a thing or two from it. You learn about perseverance, how to keep going, stick your neck out, till the very end so you get what you want. So let's continue. Thank you.
I want to piggyback on something. So I like that you mentioned mentorship, and I like that you mentioned that you were the one that initiated it. So I'm just curious, did you pay those mentors? Like you called Raphael, or am I the one
Raphael
talking about the
UC Berkeley data science program.
the data science program? Then there was one that specifically taught you how to automate.
Yes, John Ma.
Intel, John Ma.
John
Okay,
Ma.
did you pay? How was that relation? How did you? Because I know that a lot of people they know what they want, they just don't know how to get it.
Yeah.
They know somebody that has it. How do you initiate mentorship? So I see somebody that I want to learn from, but I'm hesitant. I don't know how to approach the person, or whether the person will take me, or so basically tell us more about that mentorship and how big of a role it played in getting you to where you are now.
Good question. I think maybe for me, because it's not difficult for me to ask people stuff.
Yeah.
I think I'm just that kind of person. And I also think because even before people ask me stuff, I give it to them. Like somebody told me one time, for a couple of people, that when you ask Ope A, B, and C, Ope will give you A to C.
You give them more than they
Have you tried it this way?
Yeah.
No, do it this way. I've worked.
Because I know the next thing that you are likely to need.
Yeah.
Because I've been there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So I tell you, right. Yeah, because like I said, I want everybody to get to the top.
So,
right. So I think for me, because of that, it's not difficult for me to tell such
To seek out.
"Love this thing that you are doing. Wow, this is good. I would like to also, how do I go about it? How can you mentor me? And then it was now because initially he wasn't teaching the whole group. He had not started teaching anybody that. But because I requested, he now started organizing classes within the team. We'll go to rooms at Intel.
Yeah.
And then we'll schedule a room, and then we'll be teaching.
based on your request.
Based on the request, yeah. And that was how pretty much most people in the team also started learning. And I think also we had a very good manager, John.
Yeah, your manager was fantastic.
Yes, very fantastic. Yeah. He told me one time that he had told the senior engineers that you better teach the junior engineers so that you can have a peaceful sleep. Because if we are the junior engineer, if you don't know anything, then I'm going to call you and say, I'm finding this thing.
So empower them.
Yes,
Empower them. Yes.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah, and I think, we need to be able to walk to people to ask. Like, I was listening to Steve Jobs mention it one time that you will be surprised that people are ready to give you what you ask them. That don't be shy in asking. And he said that he has never been shut down whenever he asked. And I think that really helped him. That even gave him, I think his first internship where he worked, where he was building something that he was building. He said he had to ask. That you just ask. So if somebody asks something that you need, just go.
I think sometimes it's because people don't want to look stupid or feel stupid. Like you're going to ask someone, right?
But you want to know something.
Yeah, that's it. But you have to get over that fear
You have to get over that
get what
fear,
you want.
And then
Otherwise,
even if you get shut down, because there are cases where people will hoard information, they will not want to tell you because they don't want you to
know past them.
a competition or no past them.
Yeah.
It's okay. Move on to the next person, right? Ask. So don't let that stop you. I think that's what I'm going for. Don't let one no from one person basically stop you from focusing or moving ahead. So that's what I'm saying.
That's true.
And sometimes I wanted to say it's nice to have people that you can ask and they tell you. But there are sometimes mentorship might require you paying for it, right? You might have to pay for someone's time.
Yeah.
So like if it's something you really need, know that okay, there are options.
You pay for the class, you pay for, like, for you, I think you do training. Is it free?
Exactly. I do training.
Is it
so like
free?
that one now you have to pay.
Oh, you pay. Okay. So I was going to say, please, you have to monetize it. Yeah.
Time and his experience.
Yeah.
So
That one I teach people. I've not really started an actual mentoring program, and a lot of people have reached out to me for a mentoring program. And again, to quickly go back to when you talk that people don't want to look stupid. My professor in school, my PhD program. So because one guy asked a question that, I think this question is going to be stupid. The professor said, there are no stupid questions. There are only stupid people. That was what he said.
And it's people who don't ask that end up being stupid,
Exactly.
right?
So just ask. Just like you said, at first they will say no. Right?
yeah.
So again, a lot of people have been asking me for mentoring program. But I said, not right now because it takes.
Your plate is full right now.
Right now, but I'm teaching. Like I just finished an SQL 8 weeks SQL boot camp. I just finished last month, and we should be having another one either in May or June. I'm just putting some logistics together before I start that. But again, that has been my my journey up to this point that I'm in data engineering. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Honestly, hearing all of this, I'm like, okay, it's making sense to me. It's clicking now for me. Why Okpeye is the way it is, because with your business acumen, your business sense, everything, I'm like, but this guy is Yoruba now. He's not Igbo. It's Igbo people I know that are very, the way you are. So, but it's adding up for me. So, question, and you've spoken a lot, and I'm sure definitely you've encountered, these situations where you wanted to give up, and I mean, in your career, we work in corporate America, we know the ups, the downs, the things there, right? Are there times when in your career or your academics where you felt like giving up? What made you keep going? What made you persevere? What motivated you to keep going?
Good question. I think for me, it's difficult for me to say I want to give up. Yeah, and I think it's because for me, before I get into something, I've already motivated myself, and that motivation can be maybe money, or that motivation can
I
be
like that.
Yeah, or maybe
money is a great motivation,
right? Or maybe the motivation is already that I'm training people, and I like the fact that I'm training people. I'm excited. I find it
joy in imparting knowledge.
It's not difficult for me when I'm teaching people. It comes natural. But now, if I'm not talking about something I want to go, I will say one thing, and that is music. Now, I play saxophone. I was telling someone time, in fact, I've told a couple of people that music did not come to me naturally. Maybe because when I was like 7-8 years, like I said, that the junior choir then was dissolved for some reason, and then I had to go back to the children's department, Sunday school, and ever since I don't do music until I finished secondary school when I was running my tutorial center, and then I'll see my friends, because in my church then we always have yearly anniversary, and every year also we always go to Muson Center. Do you know Muson Center?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
My church always go and perform because we have full orchestra band in my church that we have people playing violin, viola, cello. So I see folks doing all those. I love this. So I'm like, I'm going to learn an instrument. So I was starting with piano, then it was difficult. I started with flute. My brother plays flute, the one I followed. Plays flute. I tried this, and then my eyes just be turning me. and then eventually I stumbled on clarinet, and I had a big brother in the choir also then that was teaching me clarinet. Then he gave me his clarinet, and then his name is Shola. Bro Shola. So I would just use that one to be playing. And then I was getting down. However, it was classical music. I was good at that. But one thing I was not good at is playing by ear. So it was later on I also now realized that it was because I did not give it enough time. Like I said, me, I was already busy with teaching here, teaching there. Then you need to practice. You need to stay and practice. So I was not building my listening.
Okay.
So, and I was not frequent with the music also because even when I was in UI, University of Ibadan, I was always shuttling Lagos and Ibadan to teach because I was still running my tutorial center. I had teachers that I employed. I was paying them salary.
Wow.
You know, I've been doing all of that. So, but then, so when I came to the US, that was when I now moved to saxophone.
Okay.
That I still realized that my ear was not tuned very well. Like when somebody's singing, I should be able to convert those songs immediately to tonic to part. I should be able to play to notes. But I could not do it, you know. So that was, at some point, I gave up on that. But then I was like, but I love to play this. These are one of the things that I don't want to regret by the time I'm 65 that I didn't do.
You didn't do that.
You understand? But then what did I do? Me and my wife, you know, I told my wife, I need to, let me go back to that case of mentorship now. This also answered that question. So there was somebody that was introduced to me at some point, Solomon Bright, very powerful musician. He's based in Dallas. Then I was in Dallas because that was where my school was Dancing, Dallas area.
Okay.
Just like you say, Eastboro, Portland. Yeah. So very good, powerful saxophonist. He's a very good singer. He also plays the keyboard. So I just called you, bros. I was calling from church one day, the church I was going before. I just called. I was like, bros, I think I'll be coming to your church now. You just need to mentor me in this saxophone. Like I told you, I don't have problem
asking.
And he said, yeah, if I can be coming to their church. And that was how I changed to MFM. So I started going to MFM.
But you were going for the music.
I like how he goes for what he wants, and I think it's a lesson for us all. Like, what do you want? Go for it. Like, be targeted. Like, be strategic. Be intentional. That's what I'm picking from all the stories you've been telling. Yeah,
exactly. So, and then that time I had a saxophone that I bought, I think $200 then. That I knew that saxophone was not good in the lower octave. So when me and my wife, we filed our tax, I think that was 2015, I think. So that money, we got some money. So $3,000, I just used $3,000 to go and buy a professional saxophone.
Wow.
I was like,
as a student.
I didn't have money. I didn't have TV. In fact, the TV I have right now that I'm still using is my friend that's in Dallas that gave me. I'm still using it. He gave us since 2015.
See? But these young people, they want to buy 16-inch, 100-inch. You have to, sometimes you plan for the future you want, right?
That TV I'm still using.
But it will not always be that way because you get to a point where you're like, okay, let's upgrade now. But right now, this works because you're working towards something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that was how I changed my church that year, and then I was working with this bro Solomon Bright, fantastic guy. He has his own music ministry, and then he will be telling me, okay, if he's singing a particular thing, say this is what you play, start playing it. I would not be like, okay, but if he doesn't tell me, how will I know that's what I'm supposed to play? He will not tell me, don't worry. With time, your instinct will tell you that is what you need to play.
Okay.
And then he now gave me a CD that I should go and listen to that CD, and I should score out all those songs. And that was how I would come back home from school at night, 8 p.m. I will now be rehearsing till like 11 p.m. I will now be listening to the song. You deserve the glory. Da, 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 da. If I did not get it, I will come back. This thing did not sound right. So,
Practice.
I kept doing that. Then I started learning. I started knowing those notes for those songs. And that before, if I want to score one song, it would take me hours before, years ago. But now, usually, I will just listen to the song a couple of times. And now I already know how to score
the song.
Even if it take me to score it in a notebook and then playing that from the notebook for a while, yes, then I will do that. So I think that was.
You really persevered. Persevered. Wow.
Even right now, I still think I still have a long way to go in music. But the reason I'm trying not to, because I know it's not my main thing, and I know guys that really are doing well in music are those that are doing music full time, and there is no way I can compete with them. So I just tell myself, stay on your lane. I stay on my own lane. My own lane is academic. My own lane is mentor young guys in tech, in all these things. I have my own entrepreneur, my own business, right? Let me grow in that line, right? And then I'll just be doing music alongside, whatever way I can do it. So.
Yeah. And I see you'll be setting a good example for your kids because you're seeing daddy doing everything from music to scripting to coding, program, everything, business. You have your own business. Your kids, good role model. Kudos. Well done. I'm okay. You have the next.
I pray the
Yeah.
business can make enough money.
It will. It will. Your
So,
product is
yeah. So we've talked about a lot of highs, and I know that with everything, there's always that moment. I know there's that people are like, "Ugh, this was really, really tough." Did you have those moments and like uncertainty maybe where you doubted yourself and you're like, I can't really do this. How do I keep going? Or
good. Do you ever have
in those
imposter syndrome?
moments, like
I know.
imposter syndrome, like those things, like human beings now,
Yeah.
we're human beings. There are things that will come to shake us, right? Or there are moments that it's just not
Yeah.
as we expected or as we planned.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you have a, you can
Yeah, encourage us. Let's not feel, because right now I feel like a Superman. You have moments of doubt.
That's I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I know I was intentional. I did this.
Yeah,
I thought about that, and that's right. That's good. But what about the people that are not intentional?
Yeah.
That are still like trying to figure things
through
out,
it.
or are still like somebody in Nigeria that is still wondering, I want to do data science and I want to come abroad from where I am here. And that place I
From
want
that
to
place.
get to. The
Someone that
gap
even
is
has
so
his background,
wide.
like maybe
Yeah.
someone who didn't have his dad with them, was struggling mom and all that. Like,
I mean, all those moments
Yeah.
that as human beings that it's common to all of us, no matter how strong we are, right? I think you're on the other side, right? So you can look back and say, how did I just to encourage somebody, how
Yeah.
did you overcome that? Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I would say is surrounding yourself with good people. I think that is key.
Yes.
So like we're just talking about music, right? I was having this challenge. I talk to people. I have one other very good, powerful keyboardist who is also very good, music-wise. I also call him Deji. He's in Houston. Then I also have a very good saxophonist in Nigeria, Wally. I will call him that. How do you score songs? How do you improvise on songs? Those are also times I was doubting what I was doing. Having good people around you. And also when I was also going to go for my data science program, like I said, I called Raphael. Then I also talked to, I was another very fantastic guy, one of my best friends right there. Okay, Kayode is in Texas. You know, we speak a lot of times when I'm planning stuff, even just buying a house. For example, I don't know if you know Manny, my as a matter of fact, in terms of mentoring. When I came to Oregon, because me, I'd already thought about it, even while I was in Nigeria, I'd already read Rich Dad and Poor Dad while I was in Nigeria. So, but those things I read in Rich Dad Poor Dad, I knew they would be more applicable in the US. God so good brought me to the US, right? So while I was doing my PhD program, I knew by God's grace I would be looking into real estate. Then immediately I got Intel job. I started buying real estate books. If you come to my shelf, you see those real estate books. And then in our choir, you know Manny now?
I know Manny.
Yeah. So the first thing I did when somebody said it to my ear that Manny is a real estate guy, I walked up to him. I said, bros, mentor me.
Teach me.
So that's why me and him today, we are like, today I've texted him. We are like this. You understand? Even though at first, when he didn't know what I wanted and all of that, because, I just got to know him in fellowship. But, I told Sister Nke, and Sister Nke told him that, that's
somebody.
Yeah, because we're going to the same fellowship, same church, So again, it's about what you want. It's not that, those also are uncertain times. I don't really know what I want. I don't know how I know I want this, but I don't know how to achieve
to get there.
Yes. You just have to keep an eye out for those that are already there. Then be their friend.
Yes.
If it's going to involve you if it's going to take you to serve them in some way, some whatever way, maybe you have a product you can give for them free just to be their friend. Or if it's going to take you to be texting them, hey, happy July 4th, happy Easter.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just checking on you. How are you doing? How are your family? I think that was what I did for Manny.
It's a lot. Money.
All those texts.
So it was that humility, a lot of humility, and
from there he knows that this guy really cares.
And you are serious, because sometimes the mentors are like, okay, let's see, is this person really serious? It's just somebody that is one day they will just go away.
But have there been times where you had personal self-doubts? Like this data, UC Berkeley is by no means a small school. It's one of the Ivy Leagues, right? Especially for engineering. And were there times when you're like, man, what did I just do? Sign up for data engineering in UC Berkeley? Am I going to get through? Like, did you have those kind of...
Yeah, exactly. So for me, what I try to do immediately before just so you don't allow depression or the imposter syndrome to set in.
Yeah.
Me, I say things jokingly, and I'm always like that. I'm always like that. Even in school, I'm a very jovial person.
Yeah, you are.
So, yeah. So I was, even if I write the exam and I did not do well, I would say, Mutilano, meaning that I did not do well. Yes, so even before
you tell me,
I've already told myself. So in the case of UC Berkeley, and then they will give me homework, and I'm on need for 6 hours, 9 hours, 2 days, 3 days. So those period I was not going to church. If you notice, those periods, those were the periods you don't really see me.
Yeah, I know you explained that time. Yeah.
I was, because I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm busy doing this, doing that, and then I've not figured out homework that I'm paying heavily for.
Yeah.
You understand? So those were times also that I would like, how will I do it? But again, like I said, surround yourself with good
people.
guys. So I have a friend, very good guy, Kingsley Emenideme. We finished from UI. I mean, from secondary school together. We also went to Yaba Tech. He did mechanical, I did electrical, and then he went to Ife to do physics. Very fantastic. He knows programming. Okay. So I will reach out to him. Bros, look at this thing. Then we'll discuss. Then he'll give me hints and all of that. So when you're having those doubts, those uncertainty, it doesn't mean it's not going to work out. So life is not fair in itself. So things will not be straight. It's going to be crooked. So all you just need to do is get the right guys. I remember when they taught us there is something in program they call object-oriented programming. And I didn't really know that, because it's a very fast-paced program. And then we're going to write a project. Right? And then I started calling that my guy. Then this another fantastic guy, Shaggy. When I'm coming back from Intel, and as I'm driving, I'll call him. Bros, how are we going to do these projects now? Then he'll be like, they'll give me an idea that what are the things I'm thinking. I'll say, okay, I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that. He will say, okay, this is how to approach it. Go online. See the way some other folks have approached such problem, and do this, do that, and then you'll just be sinking everything in, instead of you just staying
by yourself or giving up
or thinking that you are not
good or you're a failure
or you're a failure. So for me, I don't always
don't sit with those kind of thoughts.
Yes. You rather reach out to people that will encourage you and say you keep moving. Remind you.
That's good.
So I don't give up. And imposter syndrome is what I also I tell people. Even my wife and I will discuss about stuff that stuff like that don't let. Don't think that somebody is better than you. I'm not saying you should say you are better than somebody else, but don't think that whatever you are saying doesn't make sense. Yes. Yeah. So otherwise, you will always be afraid to talk.
Yes.
And for me, I'm not always afraid. And I guess maybe because I've been doing drama, I've been facing crowds since I was.
Are you been
like primary?
Yeah. So even upbringing in school. Yeah. Even upbringing, I feel like the way you grew up, like with your mom. Yeah, like you began to take responsibility from a child, as a child.
And I can talk
kind of
everybody.
Yeah. That's good. I like that. Thanks for sharing that. So thank you so much, honestly, for sharing with us the gift of your story. So what has life taught you in all of this? What has life taught you? And I know you mentioned briefly that life isn't fair, and really sometimes life isn't fair. What has life taught you, and what role has your faith in, I know you're a Christian, in God,
Yeah, so in terms of life teachings, I think one thing you just need to realize in life, or that I've known, is that you are by yourself. So I've realized right from when I was a kid, for some reason, I don't know, like I said, it's just God, that life is not fair. Some people are rich, some people are poor, However, I was poor, but I want to be on this other side. I want to do it. What do I need
to get there?
to get there?
So that was a strong force for you, a strong
Yes.
motivator for you
Yes,
growing up.
exactly. And then I didn't know they call it grit until I read this book by Angela Duckworth that talks about grit, passion, the power of passion and perseverance. And now I realize that so this is what I was doing all along. You know, grit.
Yeah.
You know, so that is what life really needs from us. Not giving up. Knowing that this thing is not easy, but I'm gonna
Go
get
through it. Yeah. I'm responsible for my life, and I'm gonna make it my success.
No one else is gonna be responsible for it.
Yeah,
It's gonna
that's a
be
strong
you.
message, honestly,
it's
for
gonna
young
be you.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, those are things that have really, you know, helped me to get going.
That's good. Thanks for sharing that. Maka.
So, what advice do you have for young people starting out? I know there's so many young people because now there's this. I know a lot of people just personally that want to do data science because like they've seen
There's money
they'll
in
just
tech.
go to Google. They'll just be like, data scientist salary. That's for people's motivation. We said that money can be a motivation. So, what advice do you have for like people that want to be data engineers, data scientists? How can they get there?
Yeah, good. I think before I come to that,
Yes.
if I don't come to that, if I forget the question, remind me.
Okay.
I think I forgot to touch on faith.
Oh yes, yeah.
So I think, because like I said, my mom, they, you know, trained us in that line of faith.
The line of
And, you know, all these memory verses that we recite in church also goes a long way. You know, when Jeremiah 29:11, you know, I could remember when I was in the children's department, when they gave us that memory verse, you know. What was that again? For I know the thought I think towards you, not of good and not of evil, to give you an expected end. I think NIV said to give you a hope and a future.
right.
And that clinged to me years ago. Even right now, I still quote that to my wife when we are talking.
Wow.
You know, he has promised me already. So I always tell people that God is constant. It doesn't change.
Yes.
When you are doing variations, you know, all those variations in mathematics, you have a constant.
Permutation. Yeah.
We are the one that we are.
Variable. Yes, there's no
God is constant
variable.
forever, and that is why you see the rich. That's why you see the unbelievers. They also make it because God is there for them. It's God for everyone of us, right? So all those things keeps me going. When it tells us that ask, it shall be given. Let me ask now.
Let me ask.
You know, right? Let me know.
Yes.
When it tells me that though that beginning be small,
the latter
Shall
shall greatly increase. That means I can start small, right? It doesn't mean I will not be big. So I don't despise days of
little beginnings.
You understand?
Yeah.
So just start small, and then you see
Work yourself
see it blossom, then you work. I'm not where I am right now,
Yeah.
but I try as much as possible to do things that I don't want to regret by the time I'm 65. That
when
I've
they
done this
do
thing.
these things.
And to go back to that question I just asked, and I think we can take it from that. That what are the things that you need to do that when you get to that point in life you don't want to regret, right? And if I say things that you need to do now, those are good things. We are not saying you should go and do bad things.
Please,
Oh yeah, please.
Exactly. Yeah. Focus
Yes.
is very key.
Yeah.
Then your passion and perseverance. What that means is that I have passion for this thing. However, I will persevere until
get
I
there.
see it
come to pass.
come to pass. So don't say because you have one or two challenges, right? Look at me right now. I have a YouTube channel. I just crossed into programming, but I already have a YouTube channel that we are over 4,600 subscribers.
Yep.
Awesome.
You're gonna plug
I'm
that.
teaching data engineering,
Yeah.
data science, SQL, you know, doing some data engineering, pipelines, teaching folks and all of that.
Yeah.
As I learn, I teach. I learn,
yes.
I teach.
Yes.
And again, that's the best way to also learn.
grow.
So if you are out there and you really want to get to the next level, have that mindset of helping people, of teaching.
I like that. I love it.
And I will also take this to the business world. A guy once said, I don't know if he was the one that actually quoted, but he was the one that I read about it, Dan Penner, a billionaire. He said the secret of becoming a billionaire is changing billion lives.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what that means is that
You
if you can create something,
everyone can buy
that
everyone
everyone
$1.
can buy $1, you are helping them.
Yeah.
Jack Ma said
Makes
something
it
one time
billion.
that when he started Jack Ma China, that when he started those internet period, Alibaba exactly, that was helping people to buy things. I think from US, from all over the place. Then I think he was doing it free. He now said, people in his country was this person that is helping us like this to do this thing. I think we need to start
paying him.
Paying him. This is our conversation. So the secret of becoming a billionaire is changing billion lives. And ever since I stumbled upon that thing some few years ago, the next thing I started thinking is, how can I change billion lives? Therefore, I like to teach. Like I said, young ones inculcate that habit of teaching, of helping the young ones to get to the next level. Because that is how you also are going to become better. And then I now said, okay, I started teaching mathematics on YouTube. Because instead of teaching just one or two persons that I was doing before, how can I teach more people?
More people.
Then I started. Then I told myself, if only I knew IT, if only I have IT skill, I'll be able to teach more people like you, instead of just teaching high school kids mathematics. And those were one of those things that also pushed me to this data science. And therefore, when I got to my last semester in school, I opened my YouTube channel. Then I didn't have enough time. I was doing maybe one video 3 weeks, one video 1 month. But when immediately I finished in May, June, I started boom, 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 boom. I started pumping out videos. And then I just saw my channel growing. And people were
so there's a need. There's a need.
No, so that would lead me into my question, my final last question. Okay. You're doing so much. So tell us about your projects, what you're working on now. You're doing so much, your business, from your, the business we're talking about, to your teaching, tutorial business, to your YouTube channel. So everything. And we're gonna put the details of all his business, his website. You have a website, right? Your YouTube channel, everything in the description box. But just tell us about that quickly.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. And again, young ones, have that passion, persevere.
Yes.
Let that grit be there. Do not give up and keep learning, and also keep teaching, keep growing. Okay, so in terms of my business, right, or the things I'm doing right now, I have this YouTube channel that is called Tuple Spectra. TUPLESPECTRA. Tuple Spectra. If you type it on YouTube, you should see my the things I teach. Basically, if you want to learn SQL, you want to learn data engineering concept. Those are what I teach right now, data engineering concept. And then very soon I'll be putting some data science and machine learning things also right there. So if you go on YouTube, you can just search for that. So what am I doing right there is I'm trying to help more people, let more people understand this, because this field is the fastest growing, or let me say, is one of the fastest growing field right now in tech. And a lot of people, they don't know how to get there. And again, that is why I'm beginning to invite people for interviews also on my channel. Let them talk about their experience. I've invited a lady that formed Africans in Data community, and she moved from petroleum engineering to data science. She now works with Visa. And then I interviewed this other guy, Rafael Taiwo, that also moved from a materials science. He was a process engineer at Intel, and then moved also to machine learning engineer. I have this other guy also that I'm talking to right now. We are going to be planning an interview very soon. He's also a data engineer right now. He's a geologist working in the oil and gas industry, but now he's a data engineer. He works in Canada. So we are also working on. So it's all around the world. All around. So US people, exactly, outside the US. So that's good. Yeah, we'll put your channel link in the description box so people can go. And then I have my website also for Awesome Edge. I have another channel. I have another business, Awesome Edge, and that one is an edtech platform, and it is through that platform that I teach my boot camps. Like I just completed an 8-week boot camp that I was teaching SQL from 0 level to an advanced level, where I taught a lot of, and that was very cheap, So now we are rebuilding the website now. It's live, but we are rebuilding right now because very soon I'm going to be putting pre-recorded courses. So if you want to learn SQL at your own pace, you want to learn Python at your own pace, you want to do data engineering concept at your own pace, we are going to be putting all that right there. I have a fantastic team right now that are already working on that. And then recently, Mark and I, we just started, our bakery business. It's called Silverfly. So right now,
like imagine living in a northwest, like in the US, in Oregon, and you're able to get the same quality of agege bread you get in Nigeria, in Lagos. The same.
I do ship for people in other states.
Oh yeah, we are doing that right now. I've shipped to Texas. I've done a couple of shipping to Texas. We've done a couple of we've done shipping to Pennsylvania as well.
We've done to Chicago.
We've done to Chicago, thank you. And then we've done to Kentucky. We've done to Kentucky, and we've done a lot also to Washington. Okay. Of course, Washington is close by to us. We still did one this week to Washington. So we are doing that right now. So yeah, so Silverfly right now, we have not put the website out, but we have our Instagram page. So we'll put
put in the description.
Yeah, so that's the business that my wife and I just started this year, January. And we thank God for the idea, and it has also been a lot of learning for us also. We keep learning online, a lot of resources online that we are consuming. And we are iterating on our product. We run experiments every day. I'm applying my PhD skill right there. My process engineering skill. And again, my data skills.
You're looking at it.
Because we are keeping the data of, I can tell you how much bread you bought from me. I can, yes. Wow. I don't have to go to my phone because I'm keeping the data.
Even your ingredients, I'm sure the measurements.
Oh yeah. So that one is that one. I always tell my wife that our weight and our reserve, everything needs to be tight. Like in India, we say 1 sigma. We want it
1 sigma, tight distribution.
Tight distribution, yes. And that's what we are doing. And that's why you see that my agege bread is consistent.
Yes.
Our result is consistent because the way we measure it, we engineer it, make sure that you do it the way we are except if we experiment and then that's okay. Now we want to go to the new formula, and then yes, and of course that's what we're because like in the data world we talk about A/B testing. A/B testing, you have this one, you change one thing here, you stay and then compare, give these customers this, let's see if they are going to complain. If they don't complain, they like it. so these are kind of stuff.
When a data engineer, process engineer, industrial chemist becomes a business owner, success to sell bread, own a bakery. Perfect, you get a perfect product. Yeah.
So those are the things we are working on right now, and we thank God. That God is helping.
Awesome. I see you guys going places. I don't know. You really inspired and encouraged me when I see you. I'm like, wow, this guy. I mean, you don't have to do everything you're doing, but you're doing it. It just reminds me in the Bible where Jesus Christ talks of the story of the man who gave talents to his servants, right? The person he gave one to, when he took everything, and when he gave 5 to said, let me
bring more 5.
Like this. So God has put so much in you, and you're utilizing it. It's like you're giving everything. You don't everything, which is good.
And like I even just registered a non-profit right now in my name, Northern Foundation. So I just registered right now. So towards the end of this year or first quarter next year, I'll be putting up a team, and then we're going to be doing some amazing things in Nigeria. I'm looking at helping boys and girls, students, how do they get to the next level? How can we increase the number of techs of black in technology? Basically, how do we make sure that those that are low income earners like us, that we were nothing, we didn't have anything. Probably the worth of my mother's shop then maybe was less than $50. and we survived. We survived. So I've registered right now with a registered company. If I bought the domain 3 days ago. Because my wife kept reminding me, have you bought the domain? Don't let somebody go out.
And your wife is also very supportive.
Yes. Of course, all these things I wouldn't be able to do them
without
support, without
Yeah.
Because like I said, I changed church to another church. He said, no problem, let's go.
Right.
I used the money for our tax to buy something. He said, yes, let's do it. So, and
Shout out.
yes, shout out to us. Yes, exactly. Because the truth is, somebody else might say, oh, that maybe I'm using my power over. No. No. Like I said, you just have to ask. Ask.
And buy into the vision.
Yes. And I'll tell you what I also did for real estate. Because, when your wife also starts, when she believes in your dream, I think you guys were talking about marriage couple in one of your episodes, and you said that two different people coming together.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So that is exactly the same thing, right? But when you share the vision, she share a vision, right? Just like this break that we started. You understand? It's from the fact that she wanted something that has to do with kitchen. But she's like,
Not sure what to do.
yes, but maybe I don't want to really be cooking. And then she said, bread. I need to, we sold bread, yes. Then I took her to Domino's. I was like, what are they doing here? Then we're still living at Cedar Hills. What are they doing here? They're selling pizza. I said, can you see that? It's only pizza these guys are selling. But I said, forget about those small chicken that you see that they're selling. Pizza is their main work, right? But how many locations do you have for Domino's? All over the place. I took her to Great Harvest Bakery in Tarasgon. What are they doing here? Bakery. That means we can start bakery. Since you're already thinking about it, but you're still doubting. Like you have that person doubting. But she was still doubting.
So she surrounded herself with the right person.
Exactly. I said, let's go for it. So that was how, things like that. That's how they evolve, and then things start falling
into place.
Fantastic. Of course, there are a lot of things to always, talk about. I will not permit, I've tried so many things, right? Because even I used to interview people before, right? Talk about your success. So I call it motivation to succeed. I'm still going to bring that up later on.
So the thing I learned is a lot of times you pivot, right? You start something and like, is this thing working? It's not working. You pivot, working. Let me do it this way, right? So yeah, I get that. Yeah,
you keep learning and you keep seeing how you can serve more. Because when I was teaching mathematics, I figured, I was just in one particular niche, right? But I wanted to do more. So now that I've learned IT skills, now I'm doing everything all together. Because my Awesome Edge website that we are rebranding now, that we are going to start with data engineering things. However, we are also going to be incorporating WAEC that they do in Nigeria, JAM, all these things. We'll now be incorporating them. Because I started that already in 2021 before I started school. But I had to bring down the website because I started school. I was like, it's going to be crazy for me to do all those things. Knowing fully I was going to a new field. So I said, after I finish school, we'll bring it back up again. And that was why we brought it back. And then my software engineer started with me in February.